And joining us on the couch, comedian Anthony Zenhauser.
Anthony Zenhauser.
I like saying that.
You do. It rolls off your tongue very well.
Und Zenhauser, ja.
Yes.
Und Stein. German, I assume?
Yeah, German. You can go with German.
We'll go with German?
Yeah.
Just a variety of things?
Before the show, you said Swedish German.
Swiss German.
Swiss German.
Swedish. You heard Swedish.
Swedish.
He wanted to hear Swedish. Swiss German.
You're the sweetest.
So how long have you been doing the comedy thing?
I've been going on about 8 years now.
8 years?
8 years in the New York City circuit, and it's been pretty horrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is very hard to get into that business.
Do you have a day job, and then this is just like your night thing?
Yeah, no, I work in Midtown. I work with Indian people, getting them visas to go to India. Yeah, they're lovely people.
Especially after they've been standing
really
in line
friendly
for a while.
and polite.
Really fun. Just like the ones that you meet when getting a pack of cigarettes. They're the same conversation you had with them.
No, my friend, they are very different, in fact.
My accent's a fucking Brooklyn accent, okay?
I want to go back to India. Can you get me the passport, Mr. Comedy Man?
Very angry.
Are they?
But yeah,
Miserable people, man.
Yeah. I had a 90-year-old woman call me a cunt the other day.
Whoa.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow.
But that was after I punched her in the face.
Oh, okay.
Well, naturally.
Yeah.
So as a comedian, obviously we had Tim a couple of weeks ago. Who are some of your bigger influences in the comedy world?
Oh man, it was always David Tell. David Tell was he was like the monster.
Did you decide to take over his look after?
It just turns out that being funny, you're not really gonna. The fat and the bald comes first, and then
the funny comes later.
Yeah, and then it just sticks with you.
So David Tell, who else did you kind of look at?
I worked on this look really hard. This is.
That's a cultivated mess.
Yeah.
You
It
see
really
on your
is,
couch there.
And you know what I'm talking about, because he used to be really fat too. Tim used to be really fat.
We had this conversation. It was like 130 pounds.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for sense of humor, guys like Anthony and I just do not get laid. You know, it's not looks. It's not looks.
It's not even a personality thing. It's just you just pretend that you're confident.
Right.
Looks, coke, and cash.
That's it. Now, do you do the same show with Tim on the Sunday night circuit?
Yeah, it's actually it's a good show. It's called Poster Dog Productions. It's goes on it's a 9:30 show, and we do about 2 hours, and it's really just some hardcore comics, a lot of edgy stuff.
Cool.
And it's a lot of fun. A lot of dark humor.
Right.
Kind of thing.
I went to a comedy show last night. I'm calling him former friend of the show because he just hasn't been on yet.
Oh, fuck him, the big shot.
Yeah, Dan Soder, a couple other comedians, Gary Goldman. It was a good time. But the thing I was telling Soder about, he was like, and you could probably attest this, Ben, or Tim, you can as well. The thing about the comedy thing is you're working so late. Like, he's like, all right, I'm going to go home, I'm going to play some Max Payne, go to sleep at 5, wake up at 2, and then just do the whole thing over again. I was like, I have to be up at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Like, we were just comparing notes of life, and he was like, he has this joke where he says, I'm living the life I would have, like, as an 8-year-old, I would have loved to live, but I'd make a really crappy adult. That's kind of part of being a comedian, though, no?
Mm-hmm. It's true. If you can actually make a living doing it, you're getting up at noon.
Yeah.
You get up at noon, you're nobody's boss.
That's it.
I mean, you don't have a boss. You just you do what you want to do, and things you might not eat for a couple of weeks, but you can live your dream. But not a lot of people go.
Yeah, that's
go
the
for
dream,
it,
man.
So.
Right, and that's I was talking to him about it. I was saying how it's got to be. I have 4 bosses, like, you know what I mean? Like, he has none. Like, you need. I mean, when you hit that plateau where you can quit the day job, I mean, that's just, you may not be raking in the bucks.
Let me know when that happens.
I'll listen. We're all striving for it.
It
here.
is. Yeah, it's really. I mean, the business itself in New York City. If you can make it in New York City, you're golden. You can do any comedy anywhere. You have no. LA's nothing.
Now, have you done the LA scene?
LA. I haven't gotten there yet. But they look at New York comics like you were a Vietnam vet for 15 years.
Right.
You did like 10 tours, and you just go over there, and if you can't handle a situation over there, there's something wrong with you.
Well, that's that goes with the whole New York mentality of just like go, be funny, let's go.
So much pressure.
And there was the same thing we spoke about, Tim, was that the sports teams here, they let you know when you suck, and I'm sure it's the same thing for a comic, that if you're not hitting, they're gonna let you know, like, you're not funny, dude.
Oh yeah, totally. There's rooms. I mean, we do that room all the time, right?
Yeah. They let you know with resounding silence if you're not being funny. And sometimes it's not even silence. Sometimes they'll just say,
they'll go out of their way to tell you.
Like, how do you like? we know, of course, the Bill Burr thing where you just kind of lash back. But I think as a comic, I would probably just piss myself on stage. Like, there's got to be that you feel that cold sweat coming on, and now you're like, and if you don't finish, you don't get paid. So what do you find something that you kind of fall back on to, overcome some of those assholes?
You know what it is? You have to have this mentality that you own the situation. That no matter what you do, you can be scared shitless, because everybody's scared shitless up there. Because if you're not getting laughs, it's a lot of places where you go, like comedy clubs, and you don't get any laughs, and you're done. They're not going to take you. You won't be there for a few months. You just have to grab people, you do crowd work, whatever you have to do in order to kind of get them back on your side.
Are you big on the crowd work thing, or do you kind of just stick to your, like, some comics you hear some of the crowd interject or something and be like, and then they just go right back to the shtick, or is that, do you? I
don't talk to anybody when I'm on stage unless I'm spoken to. Right. Because people go up there and they'll literally go, "Hey, fuck you, faggot, you suck." Right. And they'll just jump on people right away when you're on stage. The whole thing is crowd work. Some people do that. Some people just do their bits. Since I don't know, Tim, you ever do a lot of hosting? When you host a lot, the crowd work it becomes like it's natural.
And in fairness, I only said last week, "Fuck you, faggot, you suck," because I believed all of you. I believed you are both a faggot and you suck. So that's why I said that. If I have to apologize for it again.
Supporting friends. That's something like a supporting friend.
Who's the fucking biggest dickhead comedian you ever met?
He's on your couch. He's right over there. His name is Anthony.
That mean you'd be nothing in this town. Let me remember that.
Fucking true.
He's really funny when he's not on stage, Tim.
Yeah.
You got to know that about him. When he's on stage, you're like, what is going on?
Because he killed him when he was over here. He completely killed him.
He's really funny when he feels like he's not really working.
Right.
But when you put him on stage, he just tenses up. You actually see him getting skinnier on stage. AIDS literally goes into his body and starts taking away.
His tuxedo shirt rolls up like Elmer Fudd.
We at one point we did a little stand up thing here.
It was terrible.
This is like 2 years ago.
Who did it though? You guys did it?
I did.
We had a competition.
An old co-host of ours who left the show, Steve, and we had like a little competition of stand up, and it was horrendous.
Oh yeah, we were bad, man.
I don't even know how.
Did you get like an audience? Or?
No, we just did it into the camera, and we had people vote.
People just chat. Like, it's easy to chat. You blow.
Yeah.
But when they're sitting there on the couch, they might be like, "Oh, it must be hard."
Right. Exactly.
Really hard doing
Was this your guys' first attempt at stand-up?
Yes.
I've never tried it before. I'm always a good friend of the show, Sean. He does open mics on Tuesday. He says, "You should come. And I'm like, on your face, maybe.
Yeah.
But
on your sister's rack.
Right.
Positively.
But I don't know if I could do the stand-up thing. I'd like to think that I could. But I don't know.
It takes years.
And it's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cute that you guys did it in front of each other, but a room full of strangers.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. But I think at the same time, you have an advantage. If you hear a laugh, and you're like, all right, you kind of perking up, and then you hear another one, and you kind of feed off that energy where it's just like five of us in a room, and we're like, all right, so how about that veal? You know what I mean? You don't have that energy.
Stand-up comedy is really prone towards people with addictive personalities, Tim.
Yep.
That you have to understand that you get that laugh. It's like Coke. It's
right.
Like addictive. I don't know. I've never done Coke, Mom, but it's like that addictive. You crave it when you're off stage. You understand why so many comics died of overdoses,
right?
And because you can't get off that high, and as soon as you get off stage, you're looking for something to compensate it.
Right.
Because people love you when you're on stage if you're doing well, and then when you get off stage, they just pass by you.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, not to say that this show's any bit of successful, but it's the same when we
success in my heart.
Oh well, thanks, man. I appreciate
it's an amazing show.
But it's the same thing. I mean, when we leave the show, we're all just jacked up. It's that same. You can't replace it with anything. And then when you're in your normal life, working your 9 to 5, and you're just like, oh, God.
And those are the people that see the show, and that's what keeps you going too. Is that this person maybe you're doing your bit and you didn't get a big reception, but you remember you're the guy going on stage. These people, they're gonna be doing the same shit for 40 years.
Right.
They're never gonna there's a big picnic on Saturday. That's cool.
Right.
Or they're gonna they were working on their first heart attack. There's nothing that they can look forward to. But you're like an animal. You're like you're taking that plunge, and people are so envious of that. Even if you suck.
Do you have any
So
material,
envious of
like,
trying.
do you have any material that you do in this vein on stage? Like, it's very LeBron. It's very King James. It's like, oh yeah, in the end, I wake up and I get to perform, but your lives are gonna suck tomorrow.
Right.
Yes,
Do
totally.
you alienate yourself from the entire crowd?
Are you interviewing me now?
I'm just asking a question, shitbag.
Interview yourself, asshole.
It's like, I wake up every day and I just know I'm better than everybody.
Are you wising off?
It's like I wake up every day and I just make people laugh, and you have a
Right.
shitty job and you suck. Well, it's
No,
funny. 'cause
that's funny when everybody in the audience is looking at you and they hate you. At least you have that to take home with you. Is that, hey, at least I tried.
Well, it's to say, like, I'll call up an insurance company and they're like, and your name is? I'm like, Vincent, and they're like, your last name? I'm like, Brusco, and I'm waiting. I'm just sitting there waiting for someone to go, hey, do you host a radio show? I'm like, sitting like, Brusco?
Yeah, good luck. You got a better chance of
they're
finding a $400 GTO.
They're just sitting there.
In
There's
mint
this shit's like-
condition.
they're just sitting there like, sir, are you there? We need the VIN number. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. You never listened to my show, but it is something that that you can't replace. It's just something that you come in, like you said, and you leave, and you're like, I have to do that more.
The closest thing I ever did, close to bombing on stage, was I used to be in a band, and I said some shit on stage. We played at like a squat house full of like all these fucking like weird hippie people, and I said something dirty, and all of a sudden a beer can came fucking whizzing by my head. It was
Full?
Yeah, it was full. It smashed into my amplifier behind me, and it was pretty crazy. It got a little crazy in there. This fucking woman runs up to the front of the
I had
stage.
to be a woman.
Starts screaming. Yeah, you know what it was? Okay.
Bubs in the chat
I
wants to
said-
know if it was an ugly customer.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was post-ugly customer.
Gotcha.
I was on stage. I said, this is an open challenge to all the ladies out there. I can't come from a blowjob.
Oh yeah.
Somebody prove me wrong. And then all of a sudden, a fucking beer can flew past my head.
That joke usually works.
It's a good, yeah.
That's usually a good way to start the show.
It also usually gets you no blowjobs.
No,
When you
none.
just openly challenge an entire room of women, be like, hey, I can't come from getting my dick sucked. Step up, bitch.
Yeah. You think you got fucking nice pouty lips?
I got a mule. You got a moist hole. Let's get cracking.
Do it.
Let's figure this whole thing out.
It was actually an open challenge to this one in particular chick, because
Who's now your wife?
It was a squat house. Like I said, the bathroom was a bucket with a rope around it, letting everyone know that this was the bathroom, right? So I'm taking a piss into this bucket, and this chick walked by, and she was just staring at my penis, and she goes, "You must be Italian," and I was like, "Ooh." So then, literally 10 minutes later, we were up on stage, and I said that. And a beer can. I told this girl to fucking die, though. I was like, do the world a favor and die.
I can never shit like that.
I pissed. I didn't shit.
Oh, I couldn't piss like that either. I can't even pee at a fucking urinal.
You gotta go, my
I gotta go in a
friend.
stall. I can't do that. Good for you.
gotta
At
go-
Wrigley Field, they have the big trough in the middle of the bathroom. I was like, I ain't
Yeah,
going
that
here.
sucks, man.
I was like, everyone just look at my fucking tiny dick.
I can piss anywhere. I don't have that. Like, I don't get that bladder hang up. Like,
You don't?
No,
I
can
do.
piss anywhere. Yeah.
No, I can't do it. Like, even if I'm like in my own bathroom about to pee, I'm like, I have to count down. I'm like, all right, any minute now, we'll start this thing going. I just can't get it going. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. I just can't.
More about Vinny Brusco after this.
More about me peeing. Your phone calls 914-595-4871 or Skype us at Zenhauser NY. We'll be right back.